Hello and welcome to Melbourne, Florida. It's game two of the 2026 season for Salve Regina University softball. The Seahawks just fell to the Wolves of WestCon. 4-2 was the final there. We're on the same field here for this live audio stream and first ever meeting between Salve Regina and Central. Seahawks and Dutch will be playing two games this week. This is the first of those two. Salve Regina will be the home team in this game. So just adjusted the live stats application to reflect that. And now we'll get underway with showing the live stats on the screen. And there you go. Carolyn Peterson in the circle for game two for the Seahawks. And she'll be facing Riley Duncan. Duncan, the catching duties for the Dutch. And Central College is 5-1 entering this contest against Salve Regina University. Riley Duncan, the junior from Hamilton, Iowa, Twin Cedars High School. First two pitches from Peterson missed the mark. We'll go down and snap some images there. Behind the plate is Emma Plaud. And first base is Madeline Oswald. Emily Cronin was the pitcher in game one for the Seahawks. She's now out in right field, and the rest of the Seahawks defense remains the same. A leadoff walk for Duncan. Brings up Larissa Miller, the junior from Ankeny, Iowa. Miller playing second base, bats left-handed. A new umpiring crew from the earlier game. The 10 o'clock game was the earlier game on Sunday morning. It actually started 5 minutes early. It started at 9:55. This game is right on time with a 12:15 start. As I mentioned, the Dutch come in with a 5-1 record. Started off with a pair of wins, 5-3 over St. Catherine, 8-3 over Gustavus Adolphus. Defeated Westminster in the first game of two, but then lost their only game thus far to Westminster in the second of a doubleheader last Sunday. And that was the opening home series, actually a home game for the Dutch. They handed Riviere an 8-0 defeat yesterday in the Space Coast Spring Games, and also defeated Lakeland of Wisconsin 5-1. Sarah Stufflebeam, the junior from Macomb, Illinois. Stufflebeam is the shortstop, batting right-handed. As Peterson has issued walks to the first two Dutch players to his face. Gets a called strike there on Stufflebeam. Miller on first, Duncan on second, Stufflebeam at the plate. Nobody out in the top of the first inning here. That's lined into left field, landing for a single. Throw into third, almost had a chance at Duncan, who overran the bag and got the stop sign. She's back safely. So the first three reach against Peterson. Nice solid hit by Stufflebeam to left field. Emma Plord behind the plate. Abby Merck at third. Skylar Oliveira at short. Taylor Ferriolo at second base. So my apologies there. She's in the field for the Seahawks for the first time. And she was shouting encouragement to her senior pitcher, Carolyn Peterson. In the circle, getting ahead on the count. Facing Hannah Higgins. Higgins, the third baseman. Count is 3-1 on Higgins with the bases loaded. Duncan at third, Miller at second, Stufflebeam at first. And it's ball four. Run will come in. RBI for Higgins. Caroline Peterson, a senior from Halifax, Massachusetts, now faces Caitlin McCallum. And now in a 1-0 deficit. Just one hit for the Dutch. Higgins with the RBI bases loaded walk. She's on first base. Miller down to third. Stufflebeam over to second. McCallum at the plate. Number 12 is from Snohomish, Washington. Ferriola screaming words of encouragement for Peterson as the infield is in the middle. Oliveira up tight toward the circle, as is Ferriola. And it's ball four. Peterson gestures to the dugout. Doesn't have the control as she would like it. She's issued 4 walks now, as well as a single to Stufflebeam, and is trailing 2-0. Nobody retired yet in the top half of the first inning. And we'll have a new pitcher come in for the Seahawks as Carolyn Peterson hands it off to Shea Murphy. Peterson making the first start of the year for her. Exits without retiring a batter. We'll take a break here from the call as Murphy will be given plenty of time for her warm-ups. We'll be back shortly here from the Space Coast Complex Stadium Field. Murphy inherits a 2-0 deficit, and bases loaded, nobody out for the Dutch. And that's hitting the gap by Addie Starr. It's going to bring home 2 runs. It's a 2-run double, 4-0 Central leads Salve Regina. The Seahawks are going to get their first out recorded, attempting to move on the pitch, but getting out at home is Caitlin McCallum. Addie Starr advances to third base. McCallum is out trying to advance on the pitch that got away. Good job by Shea Murphy covering the plate. 4 runs are in the inning on 2 hits. Allie Henry at the plate, batting from the left side. The left fielder takes a strike from Shea Murphy. So Peterson unable to record an out. The first out recorded for the Seahawks comes on McCallum trying to cross the plate on a pitch that got away. 1 out, runner on third base. That's Addie Starr. After her 2-run double, stands on third. Henry gets a piece of it to stay alive. Allie Henry from Osceola, Iowa. To shortstop, Skylar Oliveira makes a great grab. Henry speeds down the line. It'll be an RBI ground out for Allie Henry. And the score is now 5-0 as Starr comes across the plate for the 5th run. 6-3 on the play, but an RBI for Henry. 2nd out of the inning. First batter retired by the Seahawks. The first out came on a runner caught at home. From Jaden Poisman, the pitcher, making an appearance at the plate here in the first inning. She's going to be happy with a 5-run lead before she even takes the circle. She's the number 8 batter in the Dutch lineup. She's followed by the center fielder Underwood in the number 9 spot. Poisman bats from the right side. As Central leads 5-0, 2 out, spaces empty now in the top of the first. Seahawks lost their opener 4-2 to WestCon. Jaden Heisman adding with a .529 average. She scored 3 runs on the season. Round to the left side. Nice backhand by Oliveira. Long throw in time to get Heisman. So two nice plays by Oliveira at shortstop. Gets the last two Dutch batters. They bring 8 to the plate and score 5 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left in the inning. We head to the bottom of the first here at Melbourne, Florida. It is 5-0 Dutch. Seahawks coming to bat. And I'm in the first for the Seahawks in a 5-0 hole before they've even batted. And it's Lily Bridges leading off for Salve Regina. The center fielder from Wesley Chapel, Florida, comes across her home state to play her first collegiate softball games as the Seahawks season opener scheduled against UMass Dartmouth last Saturday, and then an eventual road game on Tuesday will both postponed. Hopefully will get rescheduled as Bridges bunts it into a 5-3 putout. Hannah Higgins charging from third base. It brings up Skylar Oliveira to the plate. She was in the number 2 hole in game 1 as well. Had a single in 4 at bats, went 1 for 4, as did Lily Bridges. Jaden Heisman, the pitcher. Riley Duncan behind the plate for the Dutch. Hannah Higgins at third. Stufflebeam at shortstop. Larissa Miller at second base. Addie Starr at first base. Ellie Henry in left field. Carly Underwood in center field. And Emma Anderson rounds out the outfield for the Dutch. She's in right field. And a strikeout swinging as Oliveira chases the outside pitch. She's out number 2 in the bottom of the first. Base is empty for Salve Regina third baseman Abby Murk from Laurelton, Virginia, the sophomore right-hander. Played some nice defense in game 1. At the plate, Murk was 0 for 3. She's in the number 3 hole playing third base for the Salve Regina Seahawks. Two down, base is empty. Weisman, the right-handed sophomore from Trainer, Iowa, stands at 5'8" in the circle. As a 2-1 count on Abby Merck. Good cut by Merck. Stands for strike two. Pitches away for ball three. Full count now on Merck. Batting with 2 outs and the bases empty. Jaden Heusman is making her 4th appearance of the season, 2nd start, a 156 earned run average. She has 1 complete game and a 3-1 record for the Dutch. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the mitt. And it's strike 3 against Merck as back-to-back strikeouts for Heusman. A 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the first. We head to the top of the second here in Melbourne, Florida. It's a 5-0 score in favor of Central. Jay Murphy completes her warm-up tosses. Coming on in relief. We're in the second inning. And she's facing the number 9 hitter in the Central lineup, Harley Underwood. Underwood, the center fielder. Bunts it. Murphy comes in sliding for it. Still makes a good throw to Oswald at first base, but Underwood beats it out with the bunt single. Back to the top of the order for the Dutch. It's Riley Duncan. She led off with a walk against Caroline Peterson and scored. Higgins and McCallum had back-to-back RBI bases on balls. And then Starr had a 2-run double for a 4-0 lead in the first. Henry grounded out for an RBI. That made it 5-0. And that's where we stand now. Back to Murphy in the circle. She gets the force at first. Underwood was running on the pitch, so it negated a chance for Murphy to make the play at second base. So Underwood advances to second. 1-3 on the putout on Duncan. Larissa Miller steps in from the left side. Throw down to Oliveira covering that third as Merck is charging. It'll be a stolen base for Underwood. She's at third base with 1 out. Miller drew a walk in the first inning and scored. He foul took a pitch from Stay Murphy. It's happener Merck, unable to come up with it. He's trying to get the scoop and throw home. And then throw down the second by Emma Plord. Gets Miller. Caught stealing. 2-6 on the caught stealing. Two down bases empty for Sarah Suffelbeam. Suffelbeam had a single. And it's ball far to Suffelbeam. Grounder to the left side, stopped by Oliveira. Goes for the force at second, but not in time. Kept the ball in the infield with a nice diving stop. So an infield single for Higgins. Which one is at first and second for Caitlin McCallum. We're in the top of the second. 6-0 the score. McCallum drew a walk in the first inning and brought in the second run of the game. And there was the last batter that starter Caroline Peterson faced. Two down, runners on first and second. Murphy's pitch inside for a strike. Bouncer back to Murphy in the circle. And McCallum retired on the 1-3. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left for the Dutch in the second inning. We head to the bottom of the second. It's 6-0 Central over Salve Regina. And welcome back to Melbourne, Florida. We're at the Space Coast Complex. The second game of the season for Salve Regina. They're facing the 5-1 Dutch of Central College out of Iowa. So this is the 6th game for the Central College team. And they are enjoying a 6-0 lead as the Seahawks bat in the bottom of the second. Salve Regina's first game was this morning against WestCon. And the Wolves scored 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning to take a 4-2 victory over the Seahawks. It was the first win of the season for WestCon. They're now 1-2 as Emily Cronin pops up to shortstop Sarah Stuffelbein for out number 1 in the second. Brings up the designated player Victoria Geiser. Cronin pitched a complete game in the opener, going 6 innings and taking the loss in the 4-2 final. Victoria Geiser went 1 for 2. Had a leadoff double with her only hit. That came in the second inning. And she scored the first run of the season for the Seahawks. Fouls off a pair. Is then an 0-2 hole against Jaden Heusman. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Third strikeout for Heusman. Central will play Hamilton College. And Hamilton's in attendance watching this game before the 2:30 start against the Dutch. 2 down, bases empty for Emma Plord. She had first base duties in the season opener against WestCon. She's now behind the plate. Who's pitching starter Caroline Peterson, now reliever Shea Murphy. Policeman ahead of Plord with 2 strikes. Into right field. Solid hit. And reaching first base safely, Plord collides with first baseman Starr, who got the throw in from Anderson. Base hit for Emma Plord. Brings up First baseman Madeline Oswald. She had a pinch hit appearance in the season opener against Westcon. Nice at-bat battle. Went to a full count, fouled off many pitches with the bases loaded. Ended up bouncing it back to the relief pitcher, Olivia Fordano. And Fordano turned it into a 1-2-3 double play. So Florida on first base with 2 outs. Had the 2-out single to right field. Oswald at the plate. Ready for a pitch from Huisman. Left fielder Ryan Burke on deck. She's in the number 8 spot in the Seahawk batting order, followed by the number 9 hitter, Taylor Ferriola, playing second base here in the Seahawks' second game. Good eye by Oswald, watches it outside. Gorgeous sunshine here at the Space Coast Complex in Melbourne, Florida. Swing and a miss. Pair of strikeouts in each inning for Huisman. She now has 4 in her outing. Gave up a hit to Floyd, but she stranded at first base. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left for the Seahawks. Star Henry and the pitcher batting as we go to the top of the third. Central leads 6-0. Welcome back to Melbourne, Florida. Addie Starr leads off with a single to center field. Morgan Minor is in as a runner for Starr. That's fouled off the plate. Allie Henry at the plate. Fouls this off the plate. That seems to center field. A base hit for Henry. And Minor makes it all the way to third. So a pair of singles to center field puts a pair of Dutch at the corners. Minor the pinch runner, running for Starr, who led off with a single. Now Henry at first base. Seahawks meet in the circle, led by junior catcher Emma Plord. And central pitcher Jaden Huisman at the plate. She grounded out to shortstop Skylar Oliveira to end the first inning, not before. And a stolen base for Henry. Seahawks cut off the throw and almost had a chance at Meinhardt, who had run down the third base line. Oliveira, who had cut off the throw, came home with her throw back to Plurd. This is listed foul. And Oswald does a nice job catching it in front of the central dugout, throws it into Plurd at home plate. So Huisman is out on the foul pop to Oswald at first base. Carly Underwood will be lifted for a pinch hitter. It'll be Katie Bauer batting for the Dutch. Bauer, a junior from Kansas City, Missouri. That's right-handed. Batting here with one out, as Murphy got the big foul pop off the bat of Huisman for the first out of the frame. Pitches up high to Bauer. Pinch hitting for Underwood, the center fielder. That's in the air in the infield, going back, but it's going to land a base hit and a run in. A long way to go for Ferriolo. And Bauer's going to make havoc on the base pass. He gets down to second. And Henry scores. So 2 runs in on the loop single to right by Bauer. 1 RBI. Score is now 8-0 in favor of Central. Batting in the top of the third. They scored 5 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 here in the third, leading 8-0. They have 8 runs on 7 hits, no errors. For the Seahawks, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error. Riley Duncan squares a bunt, pulls back, and Bauer steals third base. Throw went down to Oliveira covering. Shortstop coming over to third to cover. Duncan swings away, fouls it. Duncan Walken scored in the first, bounced back to Murphy in the second inning. That's bounced foul in the box. The weather app lists 79 degrees here in Melbourne, Florida. Expected to get up to 82. Partly cloudy. Grounded to Merck. She comes home. Play at the plate. Out. So the fielder's choice for Duncan and Bauer cut out at home. 5-2 on the play. 2 down. Brings up Larissa Miller. Her bunt, foul. Two down, Duncan on first base. Reach on the fielder's choice. And running on the pitch and stealing second is Duncan. Central with an 8-0 lead. Still batting in the top of the third inning. Tapper to Oliveira. She charges and makes a good throw over to Oswald for the final out. 6-3 on the play. Side retired, but 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 1 left for the Dutch. We head to the bottom of the third. It's Central 8, Salve Regina 0. Welcome back to Melbourne, Florida, Space Coast Complex, Salve Regina and Central in an NCAA Division III softball contest. Central with an 8-0 lead. That's Salve bats in the bottom of the third. Carly Underwood returns to center field for the Dutch. And Addie Starr back at first base. Starr singled and was lifted for a pinch runner. Meinhardt, who scored in the 2-run third inning. Bauer pinch hit for Underwood and singled. She singled in a run. She ended up getting cut out at home plate, trying to score from third base on a fielder's choice by Duncan. Priestman facing Ryan Burke, leading off the bottom of the third inning. Burke is in the number 8 spot. Plays left field. And a foul off the bat of Burke. Burke, a finance major from Nutley, New Jersey. Grounds it to the right side. Underhand throw from Miller to Starr. Gets the out on Burke. 4-3 in the scorebook. First plate appearance ever now for Taylor Ferriola. Bats from the left side. Just 2 outfielders for the Dutch. Ferriola playing second base for Salve Regina in game 2. Fellow freshman Cameo Rook had the second base duties in the opener against WestCon. So 5 infielders, 3 on the left side with Ferriola at the plate. Takes it and misses. Anderson, the right fielder, is positioned where the second baseman would normally be, and the second baseman, Miller, has shifted over to the left side. They're swinging a miss for strike 2. He lines it into left field. It's a base hit. Found the gap there in left field and dropped a single. So Ferriola's on base with a second hit against Fleeceman. It's back to the top of the order for Lily Bridges. So despite the Dutch overloading the left side, Ferriola found some turf to land her single. Seahawks trail by 8 in the bottom of the third. It's an 8-0 score. Ferriola with just a second hit against Huisman. The Dutch have 7 hits to account for their 8 runs. 1 error committed by the Seahawks. Bridges bounced out to Higgins at third base, leading off the bottom of the first. Bats with 1 out, and Ferriola on first base. Seahawks need a run to make sure this doesn't become a shortened game. Although they're more than a couple of frames away from needing that run. Like to get it earlier than later. It's the bottom of the third inning. Ferriola on first. Bridges at the plate. Huisman delivering. It's outside for ball 4. So the first walk issued by Huisman follows just a second base hit for the Seahawks. And we'll have a pitching change for the Dutch. As head coach George Wares goes to his bullpen and brings in number 1, Ella Morse, the freshman from Tucson, Arizona. Morse's pitching statistics. Has allowed just 1 earned run in the 8 2/3 innings pitched. She's making her 5th appearance of the season. Pitched in both games yesterday, both wins against Rivier and Lakeland University, and pitched in season opening wins against Gustavus Adolphus and Westminster. Facing Skyla Oliveira. Oliveira lifts it high. It's foul, but underneath it in foul territory is Starr. She makes the catch on the foul pop off the bat of Oliveira for out number 2. Ferriola remains at second, Bridges at first, and it brings up Abby Merck, the third baseman. That's lifted in the air, left side, and underneath it is Higgins from third base. So Morris comes in and gets a pair of pop-ups from the Seahawks. Threat extinguished. And the Seahawks go down without scoring. No runs on one hit, no errors, and two left for the Seahawks. Stufflebeam, Higgins, and McCallum due up in the top of the fourth. Central College with an 8-0 lead, batting in the top of the fourth inning against Salve Regina. First pitch swinging for the Dutch is the shortstop, Sarah Stufflebeam. Stufflebeam has reached base twice, singled and scored in the first inning. Drew a walk in the second inning. Batting for the second time against Shea Murphy. Murphy came out in relief of starter Caroline Peterson, who pitched to 5 Dutch batters without retiring a batter and then exited. First batter that Murphy faced doubled in a pair of runs. Peterson's ledger was all 5 Dutch reached base, 4 by walk, 1 by a single. The single came off the bat of Stufflebeam. That's right on top of the bleachers here, behind home plate. There is some canopy covering, but there are some openings in the canopy, and you got to follow the track of the ball because it can get through that opening. And it did right there. Soft liner, one hopper to Oliveira. Good throw over to Oswald. 6-3, retiring Stufflebeam. First batter up, first batter out. Brings up Hannah Higgins. One out for Higgins. Base is empty. She's reached base twice. Walked and scored in the first inning. Singleton was stranded at first base in the second inning. Her single came off Shea Murphy. Grounded to third. Merck with the glove and the throw over to Oswald. 5-3 on the putout. 2 up, 2 down for Murphy in the fourth inning. Nice breeze now coming across the Space Coast complex. We're at 1:21 in the afternoon on Sunday, March 15. McCallum at the plate. He walked in the first inning, got as far as third base, but was out at the plate trying to score on a pitch that got away. Claude retrieved the pitch and then through to Murphy covering the plate for the out. That was the first out of the entire game. And then in her second at bat, McCallum bounced back to Murphy in the circle. He lines it up the middle, base hit into center field. The hits now equal the runs for Central. 8 runs on 8 hits, no errors for the Dutch. And the Seahawks, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Starr at first base. McCallum at first base. Now a grounder to Oliveira. Gets the force over to Ferriola at second. And that retires a side. So fielder's choice, grounder for Starr. And McCallum out on the 6-4 force at second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Cronin, Geiser, and Plord due up for the Seahawks. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It's 8-0 Central. Emily Cronin leading off for Salve Regina, batting in the bottom of the 4th. She sends it to center field and making a great play out there for the Dutch is Carly Underwood, ranging to her left and coming in quite a bit to make the diving grab. That's robbing Cronin of a single. L8 in your scorebook, and it brings up Victoria Geiser. Cronin was the starting pitcher and went the complete game for the Seahawks in the opener against Westcon, losing 4-2. Geiser, the designated player in both games, has struck out against Friesman, now facing Morse for the first time. Ella Morse in relief. Has gotten all 3 batters out she's faced. But all 3 batters have lifted the ball in the air. Foul pop off the bat of Oliveira. A pop in the infield by Merck to her counterpart at third base, Higgins. And then Cronin lining out to Underwood in center field. Three pitches, 3 strikes. And it was the last one swinging on Geiser. 2 down, bases empty for Emma Plord. She singled in her at bat against Friesman. First pitch swinging is Plord. Fouls it off the netting on the right. 2 down, bases empty. Plord's single went into right field. It was hard hit. Anderson did a nice job charging it and throwing to first base. Plord beat it out while colliding with Starr. Pitches hit. There are letters for strike 2. And the Plord looks down to the third base coach's box. And head coach Shauna Delayed at that box. Assistant coach Kendra Walker on the first base box. That's in the air. Shortstop underneath it. Sarah Stufflebeam makes the catch for the out that retires the side. 1-2-3 inning in the fourth. We head to the fifth inning. And the Dutch have the 8-0 lead over the Seahawks. We'll be right back. Big shout out to Tim DePetris Sr. for liking us on Facebook. Appreciate that. This is Ed Havishar coming to you live from the USSSA Space Coast Complex in Melbourne, Florida, where the Seahawks and Dutch are in an NCAA Division III softball matchup on the turf field of the stadium complex. Elise Evans Murphy leading off the top of the fifth for the Dutch. She's in the number 7 spot, where Sutter Henry was the left fielder. She's facing Shea Murphy. Murphy is in her 5th inning of work, all in relief, as she relieves starter Caroline Peterson. Nubbed foul off the bat of Evans Murphy. Release Evans Murphy, a junior out of Sergeant Bluff, Iowa. Right-hander. Also throws right. Outfielder by trade. Grounds it to Oswald at first. And the junior will pick up the ball and run to the bag unassisted. Taylor Hall at the plate. She's batting in the pitcher's spot. Priestman had a pair of at-bats before exiting when Ella Morse came in to pitch. Now Ayla Hall batting for Morse's spot. Paul, a freshman from Webster, Iowa. Bats left, throws right. A 5'1" shortstop. Murphy just misses outside. Count goes full now on the pinch hitter Hall. Central leads 8-0. 1-0 on the board for the Dutch. That came in the fourth inning. Now the first two are out here. On the fly out to center after the ground out to first. 2 down, bases empty. Seahawks looking for their first 1-2-3 defensive inning. And the batter is Underwood, who re-entered after Bauer pinch hit for her. Underwood made a nice defensive play last inning off the bat of Emily Cronin. She bats lefty in the number 9 spot in the Dutch order. Bounces it to Peterson in the circle. Her overhand throw to Oswald completes the 1-2-3 inning for Salve Regina. Seahawks need to put a run on the board or we will end it after 5. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It's 8-0 Central. Ella Moss back in the circle for the Dutch. And she gets Madeline Oswald on the first pitch fly out to center field. Underwood under it for the catch. The corner outfield is for Central are Ayla Hall in left and Elise Evans Murphy in right. Both were hitting in the lineup in the top half of the 5th. We're in the bottom of the 5th. And it's Central leading 8-0. Pinch hitting for Ryan Burke is Darian DeMuzio. DeMuzio making her first appearance in a Seahawk uniform. Grounds it to the right side. Second base, nice pickup. And flow over to first. Style with the put out. 2 down. Base is empty. Seahawks down to their final out. We're in the bottom of the 5th. And it's the bottom of the order. Taylor Ferriola, who reached on a single her first ever collegiate plate appearance. Miller to Star on the ground out for DeMuzio. So the Seahawks got a 1-2-3 in the top of the fifth, but they're in danger of going down in order in the bottom against Morse. And that's lifted in the air. The right fielder actually makes the catch, but closer to second base than right field. It'll go down as an F9 as the final out of the inning. As Ferriola lifts it to Elise Evans Murphy for the final out. Elise Evans Murphy was playing in shallow as the game ends. It's an 8-0 final. Takes an hour and 23 minutes. Central improves to 6-1 on the season. And the Seahawks fall to 0-2. 222 folks in attendance. A good amount from Central College in their red, supporting their team. They'll go on to play Hamilton College. I'm not sure if it's this field or another diamond, but we'll be seeing the Dutch in a day or two. The Seahawks are matched up with Central in a contest that could even be tomorrow night. Let's go to the Seahawks schedule. Yeah, Monday night, 7 o'clock here at the Space Coast Complex. A rematch between Central and Salve Regina after Salve plays Rutgers Newark in a 4:45 start. So thanks for joining us on our broadcast for the Seahawks' second game. As the starting pitcher, Heisman, will get the W. He improves to 4-1 on the season. Caroline Peterson takes the loss. She falls to 0-1. Seahawks are 0-2 overall. A final in the box score, 8-0 Central. Thanks for joining us on the broadcast. Appreciate the viewers we have on Salve Regina Softball YouTube channel and on Salve Regina University with the Seahawk Facebook platform. Join us again for Seahawk softball action coming to you from the Space Coast Complex on Monday afternoon, a 4:45 start for the Seahawks versus Rutgers Newark. And then the Seahawks will take on Central following that contest, estimated to be a 7 o'clock start with their fourth game of the season, second game tomorrow. And that'll come against Central. Have a good night, everybody.